McCarthy was trying to warn us, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah, and there's a lot of suspicion about how he died as well. Yeah, no, he was trying to warn us, and he was absolutely right about almost all, if not every person he identified as a communist was in fact a communist. The hearings where he was lambasted by his enemies was a hearing that he called to interview people, and instead he got smeared by these people.
Well, I would encourage people to listen to those hearings, because when I listened to a bunch of them, I was amazed to see very, very senior, high-level people within the United States government, within the Department of Defense and at the Pentagon, who were sitting there on the floor of Congress saying, I am an avowed Marxist, and I'll be a Marxist till the day I die. And you're like, wait a minute, where was that in the movies?
Welcome to the J.J. Carrell Show. Why would I play a clip about Joseph McCarthy? Because everything he said is true, and we are now living it. Isn't it interesting, as we have been propagandized our whole entire life and seen movies that are propaganda from Hollywood depicting him as a madman, as a guy that he just threw it out and told everybody they're communists, and he was a horrible person. Well, stop for a second and ask yourself, who are the people that are depicting him that way? Well, that would be Hollywood. Hollywood, the land of pedophiles. Hollywood, the land of communists. Hollywood, a land of Marxists. Hollywood, pornography. Hollywood, that depicts all of our soldiers in terrible ways. Talks about our founding as if we're all racist, bigoted, homophobes. Yep, that Hollywood. And as Laura Logan said, you can sit there and listen to people tell you outright, yeah, I'm a Marxist through and through. And do you think that's not happening today? Do you think that the communists and the socialists and the Marxists are not in our governments? Are you kidding me? The mayor of New York City is a Marxist. Bernie Sanders is a devout socialist. You have people that are illegal aliens and, quote, legal naturalized citizens that are in the halls of Congress. They're from third world nations where tyranny runs wild off of communism and socialism and Marxism. Do you think they shed that? Do you think that they are now somehow a full-on America first person? Are you kidding me? Look at their voting record. Not even just that. Look at what they say. Miss Ramirez, the illegal alien from Guatemala, that is the sitting congresswoman in Illinois, stated openly, I am a proud Guatemalan first, before I'm a proud American. Why is she not stripped of everything and tossed back to Guatemala? Ilhan Omar comes from a nation that is war-torn, been at war for 40 years. Her family was involved in the war. It's a socialist, communist hellhole. We don't even know what government really they are because no one's in charge. They just kill each other and they live in squalor. 99.9% Muslim. And we have to listen to her every single day speak that gutter garbage language of hers, telling America and her constituents, I'm for Somalia and only Somalia. Not Somalians that live in America. Somalia, the country, and Somalians living in the country or outside the country. Why is she not stripped of everything? She obviously has allegiances outside the United States of America. Hell, I could go on and on. We can't even talk about Israel because I need about 10, 15 hours a show to talk to you about all the people that are in Israel. And just a side note, I will go back. One thing that Elon Musk is able to do really well on X is analytics. Okay. So I look at my analytics, some short clips that I put out, some things that I say, some things that I tweet, they'll get 100, 200, 300,000. Some of my tweets and some of my videos get up to 5 million views. Do you know how many my views are getting for the last 3 weeks? That would be 500, not 500,000, 500. I have about 60,000 quote followers and growing. I haven't grown not one in a month. I get 500 views where I used to get 50,000, 250,000, 500,000, a million, 500. Do you know the statistical probability of that happen is 0. I'm not complaining and crying to you. I'm just trying to make a point so you understand. I'm being censored. It's obvious. I get emails constantly saying, I can't find your stuff anywhere. You're being suppressed. Shadow ban, they call it. When did that happen? Well, I can look at the analytics and I can pinpoint the exact day, not the month or the year. The exact day through the analytics of X, I can tell you exactly when it happened. It's exactly when I started talking about Israel and Jews. Just ask the question. Just show clips of people talking about how corrupt the nation and government of Israel is and how corrupt our government is aligned with them. That's all. Nothing slanderous, nothing that got me community notes or no. And at the same time, Facebook, where I was getting thousands of views on my show every day, now you're going to think I'm making this up. Thousands of views every day on my daily show to now I get 1 view a show. None, 1. I know this sounds absurd. 1. We do not live in a free constitutional republic anymore. And Joseph McCarthy was 100% correct in what he was trying to fight for all the way back then. You don't have to go back in time to try to justify what he said and his allegations. All you have to do is look at present time and see the manifestation of communism, socialism, Marxism, anti-American growth within our own government, and you look at the fruits of it happening today. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be a Mensa guy or gal. You just have to pay attention and look what's happening around the United States of America. Look at what's happened to our nation as far as the people that are inside our halls of government. It's so bad. Let me preface this with the first. I'm going to have wait a minute, Nick. I'm going to have you pull up in just a second. I want to set this up because this is important. There's a senator named Moreno, okay? And he's putting forth a bill. You know what? I don't think I even put that article up, so I apologize, Nick. So let me just tell the audience. So there's a gentleman by Bernie Moreno. He is a naturalized citizen. Now I have my own angst and my founded belief that people that just come to America and naturalize should not be allowed in our government. Sorry. Try that anywhere else. Go to Mexico and or Japan and whatever and say, oh, I'm naturalized citizen. Now I'm going to run for the highest level of government in Japan. Oh, okay. No, sorry. No white people allowed. No blacks, no Hispanics, no Muslims, no nothing. You're only Japanese. Let's try that in Mexico. Oh, J.G. Carroll's running for senator of Michoacan? No, I'm sorry. Nope, you're out. What is Mr. Moreno trying to push through? He's trying to push through a act called the Exclusive Citizenship Act of 2025. And I want my audience to be very diligent about watching how this bill goes through. It's not going to go through. Why? What is Mr. Moreno talking about here? He says that if you are a naturalized citizen or even just a regular citizen, you can only have one citizenship, one allegiance, one allegiance to America. And you have 1 year from the date of this act passing to renounce your citizenship. That means a vast majority of the senators and congressmen are going to have to renounce their citizenship to Israel. He talks about, I think he came from, don't quote me on this, but like Latin America. Let's just say Latin America. He renounced his citizenship. At 18, he became a U.S. citizen. I still don't think he should be I don't have anything against him. I just don't think that naturalized citizens in the first generation should be allowed in American government, period. I think this is a Trojan horse. I think it is an absolute, it is a trap that we will fall into, and then loyalties will be split, and we will begin funding Somalia, Guatemala, et cetera, all at the behest of people that hate our country. But Bernie Moreno, he's a Republican from Ohio, senator. He makes a very clear point. And that is, how could you be in the United States government and have a dual allegiance? And I'm still trying to figure this out because, and I've called back at guys that are in the Border Patrol Academy that are instructors, and I asked them, hey, did I miss something from the Immigration Nationality Act to present day? When did the citizenship requirement change where you have to renounce all allegiance to any other nation and be only have a loyalty to America? And when there's war and America calls you, you will respond. When did that change? I don't even know. Nobody knows. They don't. Thank you for pulling that up. No one knows. It's like birthright citizenship. They made that out of thin air in the 1980s. It does not exist. It's not in the Constitution. A Supreme Court justice made a dicta, like a side note, a footnote on a 1980s case in 1980s under Reagan, and just said, yeah, if you're born in America, you get citizenship. That wasn't even the case that they were discussing. He just kind of put a footnote in, and everyone went, okay, that's law. No, it's not. That's not law. I'm pointing to, I have a pocket constitution right here. That's not the law. The 14th Amendment does not say that. You think the 14th Amendment, which says that you have to be born in America, on American soil, with cutouts for military, etc., and be on the jurisdiction thereof. Do you know who couldn't be? Do you know who couldn't be? Citizens were Indians, Native Americans under that law. But you're going to tell me the people that were here before us and then we beat up and took their country? Too bad. That's called life. I'm a Native American. That's life. People came in that were smarter, more strategic, had better weapons, actually didn't live in teepee huts across the world. They had steam engines and they had firearms. And guess what? You lose. You lose. That's just life. You just lose. That's through the history. That's not bad Europeans. That's through the history of mankind. We wouldn't let them get citizenship. So you're telling me the people that we conquered and led here and stayed here, they never left? They just stayed. They were born here. We're not going to give them citizenship, but we're going to give illegal aliens from Guatemala, from Sudan and Honduras that break their water and squat and have a baby on the dusty border trail. They're a U.S. citizen. Do you see how stupid this is? Do you see how much propaganda and lie that we have been told throughout our lives? How did this happen? Because we had communists. We had Marxists and socialists inside our government. Now people are talking about socialism as if, let's not make it a bad word, inside the halls of Congress. We have congresswomen and congressmen and senators that are, quote, Democrat socialist. That's anti-American. How much more money are you going to allow them to take from you? you're at about a 50%. You're a little tipping over, right at 50% total income going to taxes of various kinds. When are you going to have enough, America? When are you going to realize that our government is not a republic? We're not represented. Instead, we have a tyrannical government that has a deep state, administrative deep state that runs our country. And we don't know who is telling them what to do. It sure in the hell isn't anybody that cares about America. That's just the truth. How does a Marxist, how does a communist, how do those people change America or change any nation, for example? But specifically, we're talking about America. Well, you create chaos. You flood a country of foreigners that don't speak the same language, don't believe in the same gods, don't have the same social cultural norms. They don't believe in the value of women. They believe that women should be, especially infidel women, should be able to be raped as young as whatever. Their age of consent in their third world hellholes are 10, 11, 12, 13. Married and having sex and having babies with your cousins, first cousins, is natural. Thus, the retardation that permeates through those third worlds. I'm going to show you a video, number 2, Nick, if you don't mind. And I'm going to show you what chaos looks like. This happened for 4 solid years. I was there. I witnessed it. I've been on that border where these people are running. Play this, Nick, and everyone understand this happened 4 years straight. Just so we're very clear, on the bottom is the border now. And up top, that was a border patrol telling people not to run. Why? Because everyone's going to get processed and we're going to release everyone into America. I want you to understand that video, that clip where you saw approximately 1,000 people. That was one little section, 100 yards of a 2,000-mile southern border. And that was happening all day, every day. The average that the government's claiming is about 10,000 arrests a day. I'm telling you that number was easily 20,000 and higher a day that were crossing the border, getting arrested and released, or crossing the border that was unprotected, and they absconded into America. That's how you create a change in a nation. Come on, America. I need you to get in the ball game of life. I need you to connect the dots. Do you think 50 million illegal aliens in our country, and some are saying now it's up to 60 million? 55 million legal immigrants. You have over 110 million people in America that have they have no allegiance to America, will not die for her, will not fight for her. They're here. And when we go to war with their friends and their families in the Middle East or Africa, do you think they're going to fight for us? Or do you think they're going to fight us? I love examples, like visual examples of what I am making a declarative statement and an allegation. Sadly, the world that I live in, podcasting, writing books, doing documentaries, I'm going to go give a speech in Missouri, in Independence, Missouri in 2 days. Sadly, I don't have to talk theoretically, meaning, hey, if we keep doing this, this is going to happen. If you do that. No, it's already here. I have, unfortunately and sadly, when I create our show, I have, for example, how do I show my audience chaos? Well, I have 100 different videos, and I have to stop because I'll get 100 more and 100 more and 100 more. When I tell you that we have brought in 60 to 70% of the 30 million we brought in the last 4 years are single adult military-aged men from the continent of Africa, the Middle East, Haiti, and Venezuela. What does that look like? When people that don't speak our language have no respect for women or our laws. They are animalistic in their sexual desires. They are animalistic in their way that they confront and have confrontation. In America, we're going to talk to each other for the most part. We're going to talk to each other, have a disagreement. It gets to the point where it gets heated. Then we call the police or we get attorneys, and then we civilly and calmly adjudicate it. That's not the world they come from. The weapon of choice of third world savages is machete. Have you ever seen anybody get murdered by a machete? Have you ever seen what that looks like? Have you ever seen what it looks like to hack people's bodies apart? I'm assuming you haven't. I have. It's not pleasant. And that's a gross understatement. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And Nick, before you show it, let me just tee this up. This is a Somalian in Minnesota. His name, Abdi Mahat Billy Mohammed. He's on probation. Well, what's he on probation for? Well, sexually assaulting young girls. Didn't arrest him, didn't put him in jail, just released him. And now he was arrested again for kidnapping and raping a woman, which he held for captive for a week. Now, before I show this clip, Nick, I want all the women that are watching. I have about almost 50% women watch my show. I hate to even say this, but we have to. What if you were raped by a third world retarded savage? One time in a dark alley or in your car that you got stolen, whatever, broke into your house. One time. Horrible. Horrible. Your life that you had prior to that rape is dead. Now you are a new person. Doesn't matter how great your faith in God is. Doesn't matter how empathetic and sympathetic you are. No matter how strong you are never going to be the same woman as you were 24 hours ago. Not going to happen. You know it, and I know it. We can agree on that. This is not a political issue. This is just you're a woman and you were brutally raped. You're never going to be the same. Not going to happen. Now imagine I tell you it's not a day or a one-time thing, but it keeps you for a week and rapes you untold amount of times, abuses you in ways that you didn't even know existed, because he's a savage. He's mentally retarded, has an IQ of about 62. He's used to raping people, so he's very proficient and efficient. He's not wearing condoms or protections. So all the women that he's raped in the past in the third world is now inside of your body. So you have STDs on top of being absolutely traumatized beyond recognition. And then you come out and are rescued out of that weekend of hell. And you find out that this savage has already been arrested multiple times for the exact same thing, and they keep releasing him. Why would anyone do that? Because they have to commit treason in order to create chaos, in order to change our nation. And you're just a pawn on the game board. You're a piece of a game. And we're moving you to accomplish our goals. Play this, please. It's number 3, Nick. And just listen to these reporters. They're from Minneapolis. They're absolutely left-leaning, and they're shocked.
Man out on probation for sexual assault is charged once again. This time, prosecutors say he picked up a woman he met on Snapchat and raped her at a hotel in Bloomington.
Now, prosecutors once called this man an extreme public safety risk, but he never spent a day in prison for his previous crimes. Fox 9's Mike Manzoni joining us from our newsroom now. And Mike, prosecutors signed off on plea deals in these previous cases.
Kelsey and Randy, a judge sentenced the Minneapolis man in those cases back in May, but he got credit for time served, so he never went to prison. It was all part of a pair of plea deals. This is the man we're talking about. His name is Abdemahat Billy Muhammad, but prosecutors say the 28-year-old uses the names Kareem and Altesto on Snapchat, and that is where investigators say he met his latest victim as well as his 2 previous ones. Prosecutors say he picked up his most recent victim in Mankato back in September and drove her to a hotel near the Mall of America where he took her phone, told her she wasn't leaving, raped her, and held her against her will for days. That's according to prosecutors. Investigators used DNA to identify Muhammad as the suspect. His profile was already in the database from previous cases involving sexual assaults in Minneapolis in 2017 and another one in 2024. A Hennepin County judge sentenced Muhammad in May in those cases, including one involving a 15-year-old girl. Prosecutors say 2 other unidentified men took part in that assault, and one threatened the victim with a gun. But Muhammad never spent a day in prison, as we said, because he got credit for time served while awaiting trial as part of a pair of plea deals.
So just so we're clear, Yabba Dabba Scooby-Doo was already in custody for raping 2 other women, sexually assaulting. One's 15. And he didn't spend a day in jail. Is it beginning to make sense just a little bit? Just a little bit. I mean, I can sit here and tell you that a lot of our judges are DEI hires and U.S. attorneys are incompetent, DAs are incompetent, on and on and on. We can go down that road, and all of it's true. But all of it's true because this is all part of the game to change, to fundamentally change, to destroy the United States of America. Honestly, just take a, I want to reach across into my screen and strangle that savage to death. And I believe God would look down on me with great, great admiration if I did that. So I wouldn't be hard pressed to do it. Ask yourself, what civilized nation in the history of mankind would allow people that are not even in the country legally, or they come over on a quasi-legal system, he's a foreigner, to rape our women and to rape our children, and nothing's done to him? Just let's take a moment, because I know we get rushed and I want to get to this next article and this next video, and we have so much to say. Let's stop just for a second, because I think this is important, because we're so damn rushed. That savage is raping our women, and we don't do anything. Are we truly an enlightened nation? Are we? If you truly are a Christian, if you are truly somebody that believes in justice, then that man needs to be killed. He needs to be killed. Don't talk to me about your gay Jesus. I don't want to hear about your gay Jesus or your very, very impotent God from the Old Testament. The same God that destroyed entire civilizations. Entire civilizations. There are crimes that must be dealt with swiftly and with capital punishment. Look, I don't care how you kill them. I don't. Dead's dead. Would I like to allow the women, if they want to shoot them themselves or do whatever they want to do to them? Yeah, I have no problem with that. But I don't stick him with a needle in his arm and have him go to sleep. I don't care. Never wake up and go straight to hell. I don't care. I don't care. But one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to release the savage into America. Can we agree on that? You think we can come to some kind of acknowledgement that that's what needs to happen? Some agreement? No, we're going to release him because he's never going to do it again. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he did it again. America, we're rolling the dice. We're rolling the dice on our own people's lives. That girl is 15. She's never going to be the same. You think she's going to grow up normal and have get married and have children? God, I pray. Statistically, it says no. I'm going to show you a video right now. Nick, let me just set this up because I don't think I can just show this video, and you need to prepare yourself for this video. And the reason why I'm showing, there are many reasons why I'm showing you this, but I love showing you somebody that is saying exactly what I'm saying, but from the other side, right? I got a great email from someone or great comment on my video from yesterday. And they said, because I was talking about how people are telling me I'm too harsh, and they put a little comment all in bold. Do never, ever change the way that you speak. We need to hear it just that way. And it's refreshing and reassuring. And I don't need to be patted on the back, but it's good to hear from somebody sometime. Hey man, I really like what you're doing. I like how I don't care. Tell it like it is, because it has to be said like that. Because the days of civility, the days of politically correct, those days are gone. They're over with. It does not exist. Why doesn't it exist? Because men like this are going to tell you everything that I've told you about the destruction of our white Christian nation, and that how they perceive us. The foreigners perceive us in America. This is not some average, well, he's average, but this is not some street thug that just came from India somewhere, from street gutter in India. This man's name is Wajahat. Wajahat. His name is Wajahat. God. Wajahat Ali. He's a New York Times columnist. Now listen to what he says and don't think about it. Just listen and enjoy.
You have lost. You lost. The mistake that you made is you let us in the first place. See, that's the thing with brown people. And I'm going to say this as a brown person. There's a lot of us. Like a lot. There's like 1.2 billion in India. There's more than 200 million in Pakistan. There's like 170 million in Bangladesh. Those are just the people there. I'm even talking about the folks who are expats or immigrants. There's a bunch of us. And we breed. We're a breeding people. And the problem is you let us in 1965. There were a few of us beforehand. But once you let one of us in, you know what happens with brown folks? Our grandmother comes, our grandfather comes, our uncle comes, our aunt comes, our cousin comes, our second cousin comes, our third cousin comes. Then we have kids, a bunch of kids. And then guess what? Some white women, you know, the Western civilization women, the pure women, the American women, quote unquote, the Rust Belt women, the real women, they like some of us brown folks. We don't take them. They come to us. So we're embedded. We are everywhere. We are everywhere. I've traveled this country. I'm going to speak as a brown person. Brown people are everywhere. There will be a Patel motel or there will be a Desi restaurant everywhere. I want you to realize this. You have lost. Your story is a shitty story filled with misery. It's filled with bland chicken. It's filled with terrible, terrible dry ass meat. Your music sucks. All your culture sucks. Nobody. That's why the kids like listen to black people and their music. That's why the kids love Latinos. Your parties suck because they're monochromatic. Our parties have better food, better music, better looking women.
You've lost. You suck. Everything about your nation sucks. And we're going to take it over because you lost. I take no joy in playing that video, but I do take some professional, not joy, professional validation that everything that I have been saying for my whole life, but in my new profession, the last 3 years of writing books and doing documentaries and doing a podcast, that I'm right. I'm 100% correct. I'm not 99%. I'm not 50%. I'm not 99.9%. I am 100% correct in everything that I've been saying because I have the other side telling me exactly what I tell you. Do you not want to believe me because I'm a white man and systemic racism and I'm a horrible person and I'm a Catholic and a Christian? Oh, you don't want to believe me. What if I brought you a brown man, self-described brown man that writes for the New York Times? And he's going to tell you everything that I said is factually true. Are you going to discard him too? Is he a racist? Well, obviously he is. Not the kind of racist that you want to label, but he's a white racist. Could you imagine if I sat here and correct, I hate your country of India. I think your people are slobs. You have no etiquette for the earth. You're filthy. You lie, cheat, and steal. You're uneducated. I think your food sucks. In fact, I hate the smell of it. I hate the way your women wear clothes. I don't find your women to be very attractive. I don't find your men to have any kind of beauty. I don't like raccoon circles in your eyes. Don't like it. What if I said all that? Holy Mother of God. YouTube would absolutely give me a strike. Facebook would already cut me off. Interesting how white people have to take all the abuse. I'm not taking abuse anymore. I haven't taken it in a long, long time. Nobody comes up to me either and says anything nasty. All I get is very good compliments. Hey, you're that guy. Yep. Hey, man, I love it. Keep saying it. Did you hear what that guy said about us? Our lives suck. Our culture sucks. Our music sucks. Our food sucks. Our women suck. Our parties suck. Then why did all of you third world degenerate retards come to America then? Why? Because the reality is your nation sucks. Your food sucks. You people are filthy freaking animals. You come here because we offer civilization. We offer peace, opportunity, freedom. There's going to come a day and a time real soon. You don't have to like this next statement I'm going to make, but it's going to be true. There's going to be a large group of men like me that look like me. And they're going to be brown people too. They're going to be black men too. And why we look the same is because we're Americans. And we're going to drive you savages like you're a herd of pigs off a cliff out of our country. We're going to push you into the Atlantic and the Pacific. And we're going to tell you, get in your boats or we're going to drown you in the water. But you are gone. We're going to purge our nation. You don't think it's going to happen? I'm telling you it's going to happen. When? I don't know. But it's going to happen. There is no other explanation to what is happening today. There is no other outcome that I can articulate with confidence is going to happen. If you want to support me, and I do ask for your support, it's not one of my strongest suits is to ask for support. So what I do is I say, I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for anything. I'm going to provide a product, and my product is me. And it's the way I think and the way that I write and the way that I speak. And I offer that in my website at jjcarrell.com or at my Substack, jjcarrell.substack.com. Both of them. Both of those, my website and my Substack, have endless free content, endless free articles, endless free videos. And then behind a paywall, I put extra articles, more videos, a daily take called a real take, which I do in 3 minutes. 3 minutes, that fast, on something that's happening right now in America. I give you my hard, fast, direct take. This is the best way. If you can just go to my website or Substack and just become a subscriber and tell people. That's it. If you want to be a paid subscriber, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. If you don't, I just want you to tell people about it. Go to my YouTube, click on Be a Subscriber. I hopefully get my subscription base up to hundreds of thousands, if not millions, so they cannot censor me, because you have to get big in order for them not to censor you. And the second thing you could do is support the companies that are our sponsors. And one of my big sponsors is sat123.com. sat123.com/JJ. I call it the necessity store. What do you need to be prepared? It's Sat123. You need a sat phone. You get a sat phone for free with activation, monthly subscription. That's less than $100. Get a free sat phone for that's $1,200. You get a generator. I'm looking outside. I can look out my window here. Snow everywhere. Power lines are going to fall. It's the winter, right? And then in the summer, you have extreme heat. You have power lines break, tornadoes, blah, blah, blah. That's just natural disasters. But I have a generator with solar panels. I go to sat123.com/JJ because my son and my wife and I walked through airports on Thanksgiving and traveled across states this Thanksgiving with ballistic shield backpacks. I know that sounds crazy. Nobody would know it's a ballistic shield backpack. Have no idea. It looks like it's just a normal backpack. But we have a fighting chance. I see things differently. I know that I see things differently. I know that I am different. I get that. So you don't have to go to sat123.com and look through my lens at what you need. I think you should, but I know I'm different. But I think you could go to that website, incredible videos telling you how to use their products. Customer service based in America. They're actual Americans that speak English, like Susie from Sacramento type of English, or Mary Bell from Alabama type English language where you understand them. They're actually going to pick the phone up and talk to you. I know that's worth a call just right there. Just say, wait a minute, I didn't have to punch any numbers. You didn't run me through some automated tree and I ended up in Bangladesh. No. I'm here in America. My name's so-and-so. How are you doing? What can I help you with? Holy smokes. I don't promote anything I don't use. I use sat123.com. Go to sat123.com/JJ. Sometimes people say, man, that's dark what you're talking about. Like, I'm going to go give a speech on Thursday at a Republican group, Lincoln Day dinner in Independence, Missouri. And sometimes I even start my speech out with, hey, I'm just here to tell you the truth. And if it's too hard, I don't know what to tell you. We're not arguing about monetary decisions. We're not arguing about, is this homeless program working or that, or education system needs to be changed, and what's our monetary policy? Those days they're gone. We're talking about the complete implosion and takeover of our federal government. We're looking at state and local governments that are tyrannical, that have illegal aliens inside. I live in Kansas. There's a dude in Northwest Kansas that is illegal alien. That's the mayor. Do you know how they found out that he's illegal? Because he can't vote. And they were like, why can't he vote? He's the mayor. He's like the sitting mayor. Well, he can't vote because he's illegal alien. So now they got him on voter fraud and they're going to deport him. He's the mayor in Kansas. He's illegal alien from Mexico. So when I'm speaking to people, I sometimes preface, hey, you know what? I love life. I love going with my son and my wife and going to a movie and laughing and having dinner. But come on. If we don't talk about the endless treason that's happening to America, then we're all going to die. Ignorant, surprised, and then we're going to get angry. Well, why didn't I speak up? Why didn't anybody tell me? Why was everything so great? And then all of a sudden it gets so bad. And then all of a sudden, what happened to America? Well, you shut your mouth. You didn't talk about it. You were afraid. I'm not afraid. And I believe that's why my social medias, my speaking engagements, my books, that's why I think that all of those things are exploding in my life right now in a good way, like getting bigger. Platforms getting bigger. Let me use the right terms. It's because you want to hear the truth. You don't want to hear some mealy-mouthed piece of trash try to tell you, well, it's all good. You know, Christmas is coming and let's all get along. What do you mean all get along? People are stealing everything. We just lost $500 million in 1 year in Minneapolis, not even Minnesota, Minneapolis, to Somalis. Wait a minute. We're struggling to make ends meet. But Somalians they're worth millions of dollars. What? We're going to have those conversations. When did all this illegal immigration and legal immigration, what was the catalyst that created this current situation that we live in, where somebody from a brown man, as he said, a brown person from India, can speak so openly about his disdain for America and Americans? Well, it started in the Hart-Celler Act of 1965. That was the Immigration Act that literally stopped all white Western European immigration and then opened the floodgates to Latin America, Mexico, Africa, and the Middle East. That was the genesis of it. I saw this video and I said, you know what? I think I need to play this because this guy is almost spot on this. So I want to play this. Can you play number 5 for me, Nick? Because I want you to understand how we got here.
So, in 1965, they passed an act that switched America's immigration from the majority European to majority Hispanic from Mexico. Within just 50 years, America went from around 90% white of European descent to 60%. And even if we stop immigration completely right now, by 2045, European Americans will still become the absolute minority in America. The left realized that foreign-born Hispanics vote around 80% for the left, so they started a campaign to call the immigration policy we had pre-1965 racist and discriminatory.
There was a feeling in Congress that that same notion of ending discrimination should also be applied to U.S. immigration policy. Up until 1965, U.S. immigration policy was heavily biased in favor of Europeans.
Senator Ted Kennedy, who played a major role in helping pass the 1965 Immigration Act, promised in a speech that the passing of this bill won't change America or cause Americans to lose their jobs. He said in the speech, and I quote, "Out of deference to the critics, I want to comment on what the bill will not do. First, our cities will not be flooded with 1 million immigrants annually. Under the proposed bill, the present level of immigration remains substantially the same. Secondly, the ethnic mix of this country will not be upset. Contrary to the charges in some quarters, the bill will not inundate America with immigrants from any one country or area, or the most populated and economically deprived nations. In the final analysis, the ethnic pattern of immigration under the proposed measure is not expected to change as sharply as some critics seem to think. Thirdly, the bill will not permit the entry of subversive persons, criminals, illiterates, or those with contagious disease or serious mental illness. As I noted moments ago, no immigrant visa will be issued to a person who is likely to become a public charge. Every single thing that Ted Kennedy promised would not happen in the passage of the 1965 Hart-Celler Act did, in fact, happen. We were, in fact, flooded with 1 million immigrants annually. The ethnic mix of this country was upset. America is, in fact, being inundated with immigrants every single year from one particular country, mostly, that being Mexico. And we are, in fact, accepting immigrants from economically deprived nations such as Africa, Asia, Mexico, El Salvador, Haiti, and when he promised, along with others, that the bill would not permit the entry of subversive persons, criminals, illiterates, or those with contagious diseases, obviously that was a lie as well, especially the subversive persons.
All true. Ted Kennedy, the Lion of the Senate, the man that likes to drive drunk and kill women. Everything that he said would not happen, happened. He is a walking meme of what a politician is. Again, I don't have to sit here and theoretically talk to you about what it looks like, because I'm going to show you. Can you pull up number 6 just so my audience can see this picture? I want them to see this as I'm talking. Nick, yeah, those guys right there. This is New York City. New York City has released almost 7,000 dangerous illegals back on the streets and did not call ICE per the ICE detainers. When you work for ICE or Border Patrol, when you go and place, you find out that someone you arrested, they go to state jail instead of federal, or if you do a jail check and you see, I'm going to put it, it's called an ICE detainer. And that means before you release them, you call ICE, ICE comes or Border Patrol comes and actually rearrest that person in a cell so no one gets in a foot chase or anything, and then we deport that person. Or that person does federal time and then we deport them. New York City's released 7,000 of these murderers, rapists, pedophiles back onto the streets of New York. I'm going to read it to you. 29 committed murder, over 2,500 assaults, almost 200 burglaries, 305 robberies, 392 drug crimes, 300 weapon crimes, 207 sexual predatory offenses, that's rape and everything else. And it's worse than that is now in the prisons, Riker Island, all that stuff in New York City, there's over 7,000 more illegal alien terrorists, sexual predators, murderers, rapists, waiting and spending time doing their time in those prisons, and they're going to release them onto the streets of New York without turning them over to ICE. And this is what Donald Trump needs to do. Donald Trump needs to walk into those facilities, extract all those people out, have them sit in federal detention for the remainder of their crime, and then deport them. The days of niceties are over. They're over. Because if one of those people get out, they're going to kill and murder and rape. One's too many. You don't think what Ted Kennedy promised wouldn't happen. I'm going to show you that it's happening all the time. And I'm going to show you one that just happened recently. Can you please pull up number 7? This woman's name is Aber Kawa. Okay. This is somebody that Zohran Mamdani endorsed as a candidate for the New York State Assembly. He moved to America last year. She got a master's degree in Islamic liberation theology and is a hardcore Palestinian activist. And now she's in our local governments. How does she represent any American? Do you honestly think she's going to make decisions that is best for Americans? Come on, let's get in the ball game of life, should we? I'm going to show you. Let's show number 8, please, Nick. This is. I'm gonna just get this before you play it. I will hand it to Marco Rubio, who I'm not a huge fan of or don't have a lot of trust. He is revoking visas at a significant rate. He has revoked over 80,000 visas so far in 2025, including 16,000 for DUIs, 12,000 for assaults, 8,000 for thefts, and 8,000 student visas. Before you play this, Nick, I want my audience to understand what we're talking about. We're not talking about illegal aliens. We're talking about tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of legal immigrants that we bring into our country that abuse our laws, abuse our people. Why are we still doing this? Why are we not cutting off all immigration, legal and illegal? It's an honest question that needs to be answered. Go ahead and play this, please, Nick.
And Brett, this just breaking right now, the Secretary of State and the State Department are announcing that they have revoked 80,000 visas, American visas, in the year 2025. So far, we get a partial breakdown of those. I will read a couple to you. 16,000 visas revoked for DUI, 12,000 visas revoked for assault, and 8,000 for theft. We also know about 8,000 student visas for foreign students studying here in the United States have been revoked. We're going to get you the full breakdown on those numbers, but there you have it for now.
There you have it for now. We have 55 million legal immigrants in our country, and a very significant percentage of them are raping, murdering, assaulting across America. Had enough yet, America? Do you understand now what I've been talking about this whole hour about Joseph McCarthy and the chaos that's created by the communists, the propaganda from the communists, the destruction of your demographics? Unbelievable. This has been I'm looking at, if you wonder why I look sometimes up on my left, I have a clock that's ticking that tells me how much time I have left. And so I always look up, and if I know I'm in the 50-minute range and I didn't really look up there yet, I know I've had a fast, good show. One of the sponsors that I have, and I know you've seen this guy, and I don't know if you can pull it up, Nick, if you have it ready. If you don't, it's all right. It's mypillow.com. mypillow.com. Thanks. You're awesome, Nick. Promo code JJ. mypillow.com, promo code JJ. Now, I've told you I don't promote anything I don't use. I would, without exaggeration, 12, 13, maybe 14 pillows in my house are my pillows. My wife, my son, me, slippers, all of them. Robes, sheets on our bed, everything my pillow. I love Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell is an American hero, American story, American patriot. Why would you not go to My Pillow to get all of your bedding, all of your robes, towels, whatever he's selling, which is everything, but it's the highest quality. It's made in America by Americans. It's not brought over from China. Go to mypillow.com, promo code JJ, and support another American company that's for Americans. Because what are we doing here? To save a few bucks, I mean, you go to MyPillow, you can get anything for there. It's incredible quality for a credible price. But we have sold Americans, and we've sold our manufacturing out. No other nation would do this to their people. This isn't capitalism. Capitalism isn't taking your company to a third world and pay people, children, $2 a day so that my sneakers are cost less, or I get cheaper lettuce that's already got some kind of chemicals on it. What the hell are we doing, America? What the hell are we doing, America? Why don't we do something unique? Why don't we take care of America and Americans? Only